But meron lang ibang that we want to also at least give these local manufacturers para yung mga parts ng cars na mga kotse nila, they can really get from the local MSMEs.
We appreciate that, Mr. Chair, but we'd like to manifest po no na ideally before guidelines are being implemented, they're already released publicly so that the public are able to scrutinize po yung parts of the for the administrative order or whatnot bago po siya ma-implement. Siguro po yung next question po, dahil hindi pa siya publicly available, meron beneficiaries na po ba yung RACE program?
If I may, Your Honors. So right now, the Secretary is correct. There's no guidelines yet. In fact, the JAO is currently being coordinated among agencies concerned. So insofar as the application, it has not been opened yet. But just to add that in terms of even the cars and for this RACE program, it's actually open to both foreign and Filipino. So it's not something that is tailor-fitted to any just two companies, but the program is designed so that other players can avail of it. So both for cars and the RACE. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, na-mention po na nagkaroon na po ng discussions with companies in relation sa sinong pwedeng beneficiaries. To ask po, sino na po bang publicly nagpahayag na gusto nilang sumali sa RACE program?
So far, well, I think the existing players, I would say maybe Toyota and Mitsubishi. But again, just to emphasize, the program is not limited to only these two companies. So the program is designed for everyone in the industry. Maybe that is what I should say insofar as this program is concerned. So just to correct the impression that this is not just for foreign or for big companies, but in fact it is open to everyone. So it's the industry in totality. Thank you, Your Honors.
Magiging eligible po ba yung truly local automotive manufacturers? Ano pong encouragement yung ginagawa ng DTI para makasali po sila sa RACE program?
Just like the CARS program, what we do is really promote the program, and it is something that is open and transparent. So once the guidelines or once the JAO is signed and the guidelines is formulated, then it will be disseminated to the industry players, because after all, that is the reason why we're doing this program. It is for their availment. So it will be open to those companies that will qualify under the program.
We're looking forward to that po dahil kung Toyota and Mitsubishi na naman po yung magiging mga beneficiaries and hindi magkakaroon ng mga local beneficiaries, ang mukha po to this representation ay patuloy na hindi nakakapag-unlad po ito ng local industry. Mukhang nangyayari ay kukuhanan yung pera ng bayan, ibibigay bilang ayuda sa mga malalaking dayuhang negosyo. So, siguro, I'd like to, one last question before I move on to siguro the second round po. Bakit po mas malaki yung proposed budget ng CARS and RACE kaysa sa mga regular programs po ng DTI-BOI?
Well, I think based on the proposed budget of BOI, we've increased our budget in the industry promotion and investment promotion. These two are the main operational functions of the BOI. So I would not say that the budget of CARS and the RACE is bigger than those two main functions of the BOI.
Kasi po, from the budget items, mukha pong the RACE is provided 250 million pesos. And mukhang the continuous fiscal support arrearages for CARS is at around 225 million pesos. So if you total this up, mukhang 575 million pesos. So it's a lot po.
Yes po, Your Honor. If you'll note, the budget on the CARS program pertains to the arrearages. So it means that, ang government po owes these companies actually. So, but in terms of operation for new projects, then I would say that the budget of BOI is really geared towards investment promotion and industry development. And for that matter, if we're talking of CARS program or even the RACE, it is actually part of the industry development program. So it's not something that is independent of what we're doing. If you look at the operation of BOI, it is really geared at developing the industry. And to do that, we come up with programs and we do investment promotion. So that's how it is in terms of the operation of BOI. So again, the value in the budget of CARS is basically the arrearage.
But it's still support. And siguro for this representation, it's ironic that Marcos Jr. says that it's trying to move away from car-centrism. And inadmit niya rin mismo sa kanyang recent discussions na dahil sa traffic, 1.3 trillion kada taon ang cost ito sa economy. And 3.5 billion kada araw ang nawawala sa araw-araw, kada araw, no? So, last question po, paano po naging economically sound yung mamuhunan sa mas marami pang kotse?
Last question po.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Mula sa mga foreign manufacturers pa, kung titindi pa ito sa traffic at sa makatwid, magko-cost pa ito sa economy?
Honorable Chair, actually when they purchase cars, no, a bulk of that goes to buying the parts from the smaller parts from the MSME. So the bigger players, let's say Toyota, Mitsubishi, they're the ones that sell. Although we have others. Encourage other companies to join. Sila lang yung gusto mag-join doon sa cars. Dito sa race, we've opened it to everyone. So, syempre, pag malakas magbenta ang, let's say, Toyota, Mitsubishi, yung mga parts nila, madaming binibili from the local MSME. So, nag-grow din po ang local car parts industry. And then, syempre, the more, kahit sa repair also, doon rin, since madami itong brands na to, madami din ang local MSMEs na nasusustain din po. In fact, when we talk to these big players, there's really a percentage na dapat ibili sa local MSME. So even in the race program, ganun din po yung way, no, that they actually buy a percentage, actually malaking percentage to the local MSMEs na nasusuportahan nila.
Be that as it may, this is still all in the framework of supporting a car manufacturing na industry. And it's still hindi in line doon sa sinabi ni Marcos Jr. na we're moving away from a car-centric form of traffic. But thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, for the time. I yield the floor po.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ko. Question lang kay Representative Ko. You have a request to have a copy of the joint administrative order. Since it's not yet publicly available, do you still want a draft of the joint administrative order for the race program?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
We will get it.
Okay. Please furnish a copy of the joint administrative order to the committee and also the draft po to this committee and to Representative Ko po.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you po. Next in line po from the majority, Representative Ryan Recto.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Secretary Christine and the whole DTI team, thank you for your time today po and coming to Congress and giving the presentation. I just have an inquiry po about the Malikhaing Pinoy program, about the creatives industry. Ma'am, you mentioned a while ago that it is a priority, and correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned a while ago that it's a priority industry this year. However, upon checking the budget, its MOE decreased from 100 million last year to 50 million this year. Correct me if I'm wrong with the figures. And the deductions have been consistent. Noong 2023, it had a budget of 360 million pesos. Then 2024, it was reduced to 200 million pesos. And again, this year, for next year rather, reduced again. However, the creative economy has been increasing naman, 8.7% in growth, which is roughly 1.94 trillion of the nation's total GDP in 2024. So I guess, can the Secretary and the team please provide a clear explanation for this budget reduction, especially since a new dedicated funding source exists, that being the digital taxes law, in which case 5% of incremental VAT revenue is exclusively allocated for the development of creative industries. I would like to get your thoughts on that, Ms. Secretary and the whole team po.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Congressman Recto. I've been in this in the DTI for 1 year, and maybe in the previous leader, the trust was not the creative industry. But for now, for my term, the trust is the creative industry, because I feel that the creative industry is where we excel. So we must push this, because in others, let's say digitalization and all other industries, we're not on top. But for the creative industry, I feel that we can use this as a driver for trade and tourism, the same way Korea has done it and other countries have done it. So it's just a matter of priority. That's why maybe it was given budget before and then it kept getting less and less and less, because that was not the push during that leadership. But for now, creative industry is, we're going to be pushing the creative industry. We've already tried it by using our ACES, let's say in the fashion, to bring them outside, and then we realized that the people, there's really a response for it, and there's really a market for it, and we can use it to get people to know about the Philippines. So for the Malikaing Pinoy, we're pushing it. In fact, we have an event on August 28th, and we're promoting not just, of course, the usual weavers and all this stuff, but we're also doing on the creative, on that digital landscape, so that they also see that kahit papano we're already globally relevant, or we can also adapt to the global world. Our artists are known, painters, our fashion designers, our anime artists, our game designers are really known already worldwide. So we feel that this is a way for us to really get our country out there. And then for next year, since we're sharing the ASEAN 2026, the creative economy and the creative industry is also where we're putting a lot of effort on also. Kasi we need to put out our ACES, so that's one of our ACES also.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. If you'd like to collaborate on projects like that, please do not hesitate to let me know, ma'am. And I know a couple of my colleagues are interested in supporting the creative economy as well here. So thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the offer, and thank you, Honorable Congressman.
On to my next question lang po about online selling and BMBEs. First question lang po, ma'am. I would just like to clarify, do all who earn income through online selling, should they register with the DTI and by extension the BIR?
Yes, you are correct. For the online selling, they must be compliant. They have to be registered, and they have to be compliant with the different permits of the government, whether with DTI or with other departments. So this is a must. But of course, in reality, sometimes or oftentimes they only have the business name, but they don't have other departments requirements. So now we're having a whole government approach now on really pushing to make sure that all of these people that sell online are compliant. Yes, yeah, because of course we already understand the taxes are not being the taxes are not being paid or